we would be starting on with relation to classes related to biotechnology. As you understand, biotechnology is a new wave science of the 21st century. Biotechnology primarily is creating a lot of awareness and has got tremendous applications in the 21st century. Today, if you take biotechnology, we need to understand biotechnology in the modules in which you are we'll be studying. We'll be understanding biotechnology in terms of 3 or 4 different levels. In the first level, we would be looking at the historical aspect of biotechnology. We would be dealing with the history, like what exactly is the meaning of old biotechnology, what exactly is the meaning of the term new biotechnology. We'll be looking into historical evidences for biotechnology that could come in the first part of your learnings on biotechnology. Later on, we would be studying the breakthrough research of 2 important scientists whose names are Boyer and Cohen, and they were the 2 scientists in the mid 1970s who primarily discovered 2 tools of biotechnology called recombinant DNA technology, 2 tools of biotechnology or recombinant DNA technology, which is termed as restriction enzymes. And later on, they knew how to introduce a sort of a foreign DNA into a bacterial cell via plasmids. And they could together develop the sort of a recombinant DNA, or a DNA which has got novel or new properties. So, while learning about the breakthrough research, we will also know what is the exact difference between old biotechnology and new biotechnology. Later on in the class 1 itself, I will also be telling to you about what are the basic applications of biotechnology in the 21st century. Why biotechnology is central to 21st century biology, and more so with relation to plant sciences and microbiology. Later on, we would come to the central core of biotechnology, which is the European Federation of Biotechnology's definition of biotechnology, which blends both the newer concepts and the older concepts of biotechnology. And learning the definition is very important because it has got a lot of practical relevance. Because biotechnology is not just a new wave science, it has got lots and lots of applications to human life, human welfare, and with relation to quality of life, which exactly is determined by human beings and human civilizations. Then, if you take biotechnology, we divide biotechnology into 3 levels of learning. The first level of learning is termed as principles. After learning about the principles, you will be learning B, about the sort of processes. You will be learning about the processes in biotechnology. And later on, after the processes, you will be learning about the applications. So, when you are going to study up on biotechnology, we learn it in terms of 3 layers: principles of biotechnology, processes of biotechnology, and the applications of biotechnology. At 3 levels, we need to integrate the basic conceptual basis of biotechnology. Along with that, you will also be learning what exactly is the sort of a recombinant DNA molecule. We will be learning about what exactly is a recombinant DNA molecule, what is a new molecule, how it is made, in what cells. And there are 3 very important steps in biotechnology, which is termed as gene cloning, as well as again gene manipulation, and also how gene gets expressed in different sort of host cells. So, you will also be learning about the 3 basic steps in the case of biotechnology. Now, we would be starting off biotechnology with relation to the sort of historical background. Historically, when you take, there had been a sort of a French philosopher in the 17th century. His name was Descartes. So, Descartes in the 17th century had earlier identified that all science is a sort of a natural phenomena. All science is a natural phenomenon, that is, you learn by observing. All science is a natural phenomenon. And again, everything with relation to nature and science need to be applied to human beings. It need to have its applications to humans. So, because it need to have the applications to humans, this perspective or this thought process is termed as the anthropogenic viewpoint. So, all science predominantly in today's world is anthropogenic, like what do you get from nature? Why is science important for the progress of mankind? That means all of human knowledge, natural sciences, right from the discovery of the first cell to the biological evolution, till of today, till the day of vaccines, till the day of enzymes, all natural processes and technology have primarily led to the comfort of the human being. So, we take into consideration science and technology in time and space. If you historically look at the first day of the advent of science till modern 21st century civilization, the entire science process, all of discoveries of science as well as the technological applications of science is primarily aimed at improving human life. And when we know that it's aimed at improving human life, we take it as being anthropogenic, that is more human centered. So, human centered science is primarily comfort, again it's meant for welfare, and the first exponent of the anthropogenic link to human science and natural phenomenon, that is Descartes, was both a philosopher as well as a mathematician and also a sort of a biologist. So, we understand that this is at the center of the sort of a thought. So, it is very important that we assume before we learn biotechnology, the reason why we say in the definition of biotechnology in relation to or it has got applications in human welfare is, it indicates that biotechnology takes a sort of an anthropogenic approach to natural sciences. Now, we understand if you take biotechnology today, that is after the discovery of the DNA in the 1950s, we had the development of the sort of a recombinant DNA technology. The beginnings of recombinant DNA technology was in the 1970s, and 2000 we had the Human Genome Project. So, we are post the 2000, that is we are living in a sort of a era wherein we believe in post genomics, wherein gene therapy, gene manipulation has got very strong applications in agriculture, veterinary science, medicine and also human welfare, even with relation to gene therapy and genetic diagnosis. So, to put it short, we seem to be living in the sort of a strongest wave of the 21st century, which is termed as biotechnology. So, biotechnology is linked to modern biology. Biotechnology is linked to modern biology because it primarily aims at improving the sort of a quality of life. If you want to improve the treatment for cancer, if you want to know the total genome of a sort of a human being, if you want to catch a sort of a criminal by using forensic science, you want to have evidences of the sort of fossil DNA, you want to look in terms of gene therapy, and again you are looking in terms of molecular diagnosis. All this are aimed at improving the quality of life. So, biotechnology has got straight relevance with relation to improving the quality of life, especially in terms of food, in terms of medicine, and again in terms of environment. Three very important applications of biotechnology are in food, medicine and environment. If you want to feed the world, we require a new generation of food. Traditional foods would be stopped shortly due to pollution, due to poverty, due to non-access of land. So, future foods are all genetically engineered foods, which have to go through a sort of a committee which can screen them. And in addition to the food, we also have newer or novel medicines. We have novel medicines, enzymes, vaccines, drugs, pharmas. So, biotechnology has got tremendous applications in terms of pharmacology. So, both life, health as well as food production is the basis for biotechnology. So, in order that we learn about how to improve the quality of life and get out novel chemicals, food, medicine and environment, it is essential that we focus our study of biotechnology in terms of both processes as well as even principles. Only when we understand the conceptual principles, only when we understand the conceptual background of biotechnology, then only we can exactly know how do we do biotechnology. So in order to exactly know how to use a sort of a bacterial cell, in order how do we exploit the sort of a DNA, how do we break the DNA, it's very important we have a very sound knowledge of microbiology, plant sciences, enzymes, physiology, genetics, and other sort of an allied sciences like even chemical sciences. So it is very important that we understand that before we come into the core biotechnology, we need to exactly know what exactly had been the sort of a discoveries of Boyer and Cohen. If you recollect, I was primarily telling to you that any science has got a sort of a background, it has got a historical background. So whenever a new science or an interdisciplinary science like biotechnology emerges, it is very, very important that we step back and look at the most important major breakthroughs which has resulted in the birth of biotechnology.